Meme games are often pretty bad. Not specifically their quality, but often the memes either become old and stale or just irrelevant. Many memes, and to a further extent meme games, go out of style, but that doesn't mean that they're not a useful gauge of parts of meme history. While making it sound more impressive than it really is, meme games are inevitable, especially on sites like itch.io and GameJolt where developers don't need to pay a fee to upload their games. However, if a developer uploads their game to Steam, they must be really confident in its quality, especially with the $100 price tag it takes to upload a game. So these must be the cream of the crop of meme games, right? Well, before we get started, I'd like to give two omissions from the original list of meme games. The two being Dogefight and They Can't Stop All of Us. Dogefight is a battle royale of meme characters, and their servers have been down for way longer than is scheduled in the game, and likely forgotten about. They Can't Stop All of Us is an Area 51 themed game that requires 5 players minimum, where you storm Area 51 and then other players have to defend it. I was really excited for this one, but my friends either didn't want to do it or just couldn't do it, and the servers are deader than a lot of the games I'm going to cover, so unfortunately I can't talk about it. At least not today. I'd like to thank those who voted for this video. You caused this. The games we're going to look at today are Road to Top G, The Chad, Bor Killer, Charlie and the Moisteverse of Madness, and Postal Royale. I hope you're ready for this, because I sure am not. Without further ado, let's start with Road to Top G. This game, for those who are watching this and have unfortunately been on the internet the past 2 years or so, you know what this will probably be. This game is themed around Andrew Tate, infamous Romanian boxer and toxic masculinity promoter. He's also promoted scams, polyamory, and other things. While not all his messages are bad, he definitely has promoted some socially unacceptable beliefs. The game itself is a COD Zombie ripoff with this amazing title screen and intro voiceover.
Why I think I fight. Do I enjoy it? No. Do I enjoy training? No. Do I enjoy cutting weight? No. Am I nervous? Yes. Do I think to myself, what am I doing? Yes. Completely. Unfortunately, it's one of those things you're either born with or you're not.
So the name of the game is to find him and destroy him to become the new Top G. God, a lot of the words in this video are going to make me want to put my head through a wall. Anyway, spawning in you have a rifle and a Glock. Don't ask me which specific models, a gun nut will get mad at me if I get them wrong. You start in this school setting, which actually looks kinda nice. I wonder what Unity asset pack this all came from. No shame to the developer, but it feels weird when some things don't stylistically mix with other things. You need to kill zombies that spawn in waves, and they make little to no noise until they're right on your ass. Which, honestly, in a largely silent game, scared the crap out of me more than once. You need to get enough money to unlock the entrance to Hustler University, an online series of courses Andrew Tate would promote to his fans so they could escape the Matrix. Going to the actual gameplay, you need to kill the zombies to get money to unlock areas. Getting into Hustler U gives you the ability to buy the main shop where you can buy 10 health for $50 and ammo for $150, which is pretty important when your crappy rifle has worse ammo economy. You have 32 rounds in your rifle and 12 in your pistol, and a little bit of reserve for when you run out. There's also these vending machines that you can buy things like higher health cap, higher speed, and faster fire rate. These will be immensely helpful later. After Wave 8, your next goal is to save up for $5,000 to be able to open up the field out back. Opening this field starts the boss fight. You need to fight Andrew Tate and, these guys. Yeah, I don't know who they are, and looking up Andrew Tate's friends didn't yield me much. They're probably guys he had in his podcast a lot, but I'm not big into Andrew Tate lore, so I don't know shit about them. What I do know is that this is an actually pretty interesting boss fight. The first guy constantly yells at you, telling you to wake up, and you'll slowly blink and lose sight in the battle. While your eyes are closed, normal zombies will spawn and try to attack you. So yeah, an interesting concept. The next boss was more annoying, but also kind of interesting. His gimmick was that he would invert your controls while you fought him, which, while a little difficult, was a nice challenge. And lastly, the Top G himself. God, why did I just say that? Andrew Tate. His fight was surprisingly less unique, as he just spawns Karens, which you're not supposed to shoot. But I assume they either get aggressive or explode or something like that. So yeah, that was Road to Top G. It is definitely not the worst game on this list. The art style was kind of all over the place. The guns didn't feel very satisfying, the boss was kind of funny, the audio was also uncomfortably quiet with little to no background unless a zombie was biting into your collarbone or you were hearing Andrew Tate theme being played during the entirety of the boss fight. Personally, I think it would have been funnier if Andrew Tate fought by ramming a Bugatti into you or something. Probably not the easiest to program, but I think it could have been funny. I try to keep my criticism fair, especially considering that this team probably made this as a joke and don't really care about optimizing it, but yeah, it's an experience, I guess. Our next game is The Chad. This game is just what it says it is. You play as the Chad, who is frustrated that all the simps have started to expanding their coffee business into their territory and spreading their worship of thoughts. You thought this was a joke? You start the game and have to evade whatever the hell that is, to eventually find a power-up where you can punch exploding barrels to get rid of the tiki torch-ass looking statues. Eventually, you find the area where you need to destroy the thought statues with the explosive barrels by punching them. Moving on, you need to pass through more of these stages of defeating simps and thought statues to eventually get a kick power, where you can throw a kick to hit these green explosive barrels, which I think are radiation, to destroy the green thought statues. This introduces the next enemy, being thoughts, which I'm pretty sure just blow hearts at you to do damage or, like, stun you for a bit. The next stage has you go through some back alleys to fight thought statues, and find a stomp power where you can now stomp and kick combo these purple barrels used for these purple statues. Some being furry statues and other being thoughts. The furries are actually an interesting enemy as they have a pounce attack, which seems kind of pathetic now, but when you're being piled on by like 10 enemies and a yellow circle surrounds your feet, the crowd is going to be much harder to manage. After that, you can make your way to the next area, which looks closer to some Muscle Beach, close to some city areas. Defeating more thought statues, Chad literally unlocks a stand, because this man didn't already look like a JoJo protagonist enough. Especially how he walks when he picks up protein powder. The power isn't as useful in my opinion, but I mean it's there. The next enemy we're introduced to is E-Girls, who have a ray beam to do damage and also lock our Zawarudo powers. I'm sorry, but defeating even more of these things, we can unlock the last area of the game. The Ancient Chad Training Grounds. That's the island where we get our 5th power-up, where we power walk to walk on water, and we have this cool-ass particle effect, which I'd just like to make a comment about this part. The recording this game I'm using is an hour long. This is the last segment of the game. I finished the segment before this at about 15 minutes and 30 seconds into the recording. Just think about that for a moment. Because trust me, I don't want to. So basically, I'm pretty sure this bit is actually optional, but when you pass these stupid water walking sections at the beginning, you can cross the bay to a small collection of islands and destroy some statues. Then you can go back to the island and from there pass through a different water area to go to another island. Because of how stupidly finicky these sections are and where you're allowed to walk on water and how long you can use it in certain sections sometimes, I would just die. Like, how can I not go 4 feet farther from this piece of sand here with my power, but I could walk 4 miles all the way to that small cluster of islands earlier without having to stop? This shit just doesn't make sense and is painfully annoying game design. Anyway, you can eventually get to this boss area that's just a big-ass field, but you have a new power, which does this. Yeah, not sure what you expected over our last power-up. You need to use it to break the gates and then destroy these speakers, but these speakers send you back super far and are really annoying to fight. Not impossible, though. The game ends with Chad lifting weights on the island after you take it back from the Simcoe coffee. This game kinda sucked. Now, the beginning bit was fine, just a kind of boring beat 'em up with a meme story and mediocre one-liners.
Get off me, doggo.
But you know, it was okay. Then it came to the last section. As much as the giant Chad statues were funny, the goddamn inconsistency of the stupid sprint power up infuriated me to high hell. Why is this mechanic so broken? Why is it so stupid and limited and unlimited at the same time? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I don't really recommend this one if you want to have a great meme game for your collection. The gameplay is pretty boring and the end is just pretty infuriating with slow movement and snail's pacing. Our next game is called Bor Killer, spelled like this. This game is less of a meme game and more so just an odd joke game that doesn't riff on anything specific, but 5 meme games sounded better than 4, so yeah. In this game, you can pick from like 7 different levels to kill different types of chickens. You need to kill chickens to get eggs get you upgrades to kill chickens better. Our levels are Gravel City, The Block, Fishing World, Office, just no, and Math Hell. Would you believe me if I told you that Math Hell is better than the Graveyard? Didn't think so. Anyway, spawning into any of the worlds, besides Graveyard, you will see chickens start to spawn and chase you, and you need to use your shotgun to kill them. Some of them have special enemies, but many have different variants. Gravel City is a small box with sparse trees and a few walls to be around. This one just spawns basic chickens that attack you. The next one is The Block, one of the best maps. It's a huge area that kind of looks like it's out of Maze Runner. It has medium speed chickens and some large spider chicken things that are fast as hell, but not too hard to take out. Then there's the fishing world. This one has super fast fisher chickens that have super speed and often led to me just falling off the map like an idiot. But a neat map idea. Then there's the office, another great map, formed more so as a white backrooms area with business chickens. There's also a second variant where there's a swivel chair chickens that are really fast. Then there's... no, not you. And lastly is Math Hell. Ironically, one of the coolest maps in the game. It has particles showing math equations everywhere, and the chickens are just giant pi symbols. Honestly, really neat. And that is all the maps. Fine, I'll mention you. The Graveyard is one of the dumbest maps because it's almost entirely dark and has so many edges to fall off with some graves and tiny brown chickens. It's just not worth it. Anyway, we can move to the upgrades. These range from more damage to more health to more speed for your player to kill birds. This game was probably the one I had the most fun with. It's free, it's simple, and it's some good time-wasting fun if you just want to see how long you can go at a level before dying. The fourth game on our list is Charlie in the Moistverse of Madness. For those who somehow don't know, Charlie, or Moist Critical, also known as Penguin Zero, is a popular YouTuber and streamer who's a famous lookalike for a certain biblical figure. This game has you playing as Charlie in a lab facility where evil Charlie wants to control the Moistverse by capturing the other Charlies. To get out, you need to access a terminal which requires a Discord mod Charlie, who can be found in this little neighborhood area. Each Charlie has a different ability. Going past evil Charlie's minions and parkouring past the obstacles allows you to find Discord mod Charlie and hack the terminals to get the next area. While walking, you can actually see dimensional rifts of the Moistverse. The next door goes to a small body of water with an inaccessible ship and wooden docks you need to go through to activate terminals, eventually unlocking Chad Charlie. His main power is being able to pick up blocks that allow you to jump as a regular Charlie. Then you need to use these blocks to get to a high up platform to get to the next area. This one is a giant stone fort thing in the middle, and you need to find blocks for Chad Charlie to lift and move into place. Going to the top, you get Dog Charlie, arguably the best character, as he can move through small vents and has a goddamn sword. You need to use Dog Charlie to get through another vent to find a terminal to get another door and unlock another door after that to eventually walk down a long tunnel to find Evil Charlie and defeat him. He's also incredibly easy to beat, as you can just stand on his head in the right spot and his health just evaporates. I like this game. It's short, sweet, to the point, doesn't take itself too seriously, and a little limited. It was alright, and if you like Critical, then I recommend playing it because it's free and a decent little experience. It has a lot of voice lines just from his videos, and a regular Charlie you can do the infamous... A nice, fun-free game to play for a little bit. Last but not least, Postal Royale. Okay, maybe it is the least. That's to be determined. This game is made by the dev team Running with Scissors, famous for their Postal games, of which one day I would really love to do videos on, just not sure how I'd do them. But the Postal series is very well known for their offensive and violent humor and game scenes, which in my opinion, some of them are pretty funny, but that's not what we're looking at today. Today is their April Fool's game, which was made by a separate team named Running with Scissors C Team, or RWSC. The game is very C-level quality. I'm not sure how much of the menu I can show, but the stall icon offering what gender dude you'd like to play as has the, respective reproductive organs on them. Sure, we'll go with that. You start off in a pretty crappy menu area and have two different areas where you can start the actual gameplay in. One is the top of the building, and the other looks like the first World Bank from Payday 2. God, I should do another video on that game. Gotta figure out what would fit this style if you guys like it. I don't know yet. Anyway, you get a pistol as your first weapon, then you can kill people that attack you, so that is considered self-defense. And we must be playing the ludicrous difficulty, because everybody drops firearms that are way bigger than them. People can drop weapons from submachine guns to LMGs to good old double barrels. There's also a secret level you can access to a mission where you just need to find all the PNG pigeons in the park. Yeah, that's it. This game is kind of similar to Bor Killer in that it's a small, simple experience that can be replayable if you like bite-sized gameplay like this. It's not the best game on the list, but it's alright. Anyway, yeah, those were the games. Some were better than others, some were not great, but they were all an experience. I appreciate all those who voted and had this end up winning. I've also noticed that not everybody even gets this far in these videos, and I can't remember if I said this in a previous video, but for the 1,000 sub special, I actually do intend on putting it up to a vote, as I have a very specific video planned relating to multiple ARGs that I think everyone would like. I also saw a comment of someone asking me to do Andrew Gaming 23, I believe that's the channel name, which is another famous Minecraft ARG that's still ongoing, I believe, but I'm not sure if you guys would want me to do it, just because I think like Sagan Hawkins and a bunch of other people have done much better videos on it. But if you guys still want to see me do it, I'll try. I'm also trying to revisit some old games I've played before on the channel to make better overall videos. I'm thinking of making a big video on games like Manic Miners, FNAF Sim Origins, maybe even actual FNAF Simulator, and some other fan games and other stuff. I also want to do some more ambitious projects like Pokemon fan games and episodic projects like Fallout New Vegas and eventually Bioshock. Just a ton of really cool games that I wish I had the time to play, record, and share with you guys. But I am going to be honest, my 2TB external hard drive has 50 gigabytes of free space left on it. I need to figure out the storage conundrum. I need more hard drives probably. I'd also like to just point out, my footage alone is around 700 gigabytes, with the rest of my coding projects and games clogging up the rest of it. Jesus Christ. But also, for those of you, if you haven't enjoyed my voice throughout the video, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from a cold, it's sinus season, and my throat's sore, and I was going a little faster today just because, you know, I wanted to get this one done so I could get it out to you guys. And I'm sorry if that's lowered the quality of my voice throughout. Anyway, that's enough mindless rambling from me. All the game Steam pages will be linked in the description, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Watch out for community posts where I try to put updates and polls, comments, criticisms, and suggestions are always welcome. It's been me, Moosh. I'll see you later. Arrivederci.